AboutChelz ain't.
Thank you all for tuning into Body Talk with Chelz. We have a very special guest with us today, Miss Courtney Barnes, better known as Miss Miami.
Miss Miami. Thank y'all for tuning in.
As you know, on our show, we promote body confidence, body positivity, and women empowerment. So, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
A little bit about myself. So for those of you all who have not seen me on your internet waves, on social media or Snapchat or Dr. Oz or Botched or, a couple other shows. Again, I'm Miss Miami. I'll say I am a author, I'm an influencer, and an entrepreneur. And I'll just say I was first catapulted into fame when a rapper, Wale, posted a picture of me, and he had a message for women, but he used my photo. And ever since then, I have been using Instagram to not only promote my cause and my businesses, but to promote other people's businesses and help others understand not only my life, but the life of women who get cosmetic surgery or who have gotten illegal butt injections, or even women who want to remove illegal butt injections. So that is who I am. I am someone who I talk about that candidly. I talk about my journey getting illegal butt injections, and I talk about removing butt injections. So yes, make sure if you have not seen me on my social media at Ms.Miami Tv, you will also you can find me on my YouTube at Ms.Miami Tv. And like I said, I've been on a few shows, Dr. Oz, Botched, and a few others.
Okay. So, I'm one of the people that like to just sort of jump right in. So, tell me, about your childhood, growing up, I guess, did you have any issues with, self-confidence, self-esteem issues, anything like that? What was the childhood like for you?
Okay, so childhood. Yes, I would say when I was younger, I was not a social person. I was very shy. I came from a religious background. So what I do on social media, don't judge my family. You feel me? Because they don't got nothing to do with them. I'm my own person. But growing up, I was shy. I played basketball, but I was never really like a social person. I grew up being a tomboy. What's crazy is we live in a world, social media makes being like a thicker girl or being a bigger girl that, that makes it ideal. But back in the day, it wasn't always the thing to be a big girl,
I'm so glad you said that.
Yeah.
I did mention that on one of my other shows too, because I was like, it was a switch. Because when we were growing up, it was like Naomi Campbell, it was, Tyra, regular thin Tyra, I guess Grace Jones, all these very petite models, and then I was like, it was a switch, and then now everybody wants the curves and everything like that. So, did you have any issues with I guess seeing other people and you wanted to be thinner, or did you want to be thicker, or how was it for you?
No, I always really just been myself. I played basketball when I was, middle school and high school. To be honest, even in high school playing sports, I was still chubbier. I was bigger than I should have been. As an adult, I sometimes ask my aunts or whatever, why you didn't tell me I was so chubby? Why you didn't put that under the microscope? Why you didn't just have that conversation with me? But, when people love you, like your family, they feel like they let you be who you are. And so growing up, I'll say, I'm not going to say that, like I say, just being chubby was not the thing. But I will admit, kind of being light skinned helps. I played basketball, so I kind of, knew people. And so that beginning helped me accept myself. It helped me accept myself not being the ideal type of person. It helped me accept myself, just even accept the criticisms other people have given me. I look at it now like, damn, years later, I still deal with criticism from like social media, but what people didn't know is I had been dealing with criticism all my life. So like the negative comments, somebody critiquing my body, like I was so used to that, to where I just was always able to keep my vision and my mission in the forefront. You know what I'm saying? And I will say this too, I do appreciate that social media had changed the image of beauty. A lot of people used to give me hell, but it was a shock to me, like being popular, getting as big as I was, and even being as desirable as I was to other people. Because like I said, just years before, it was like, I'm undesirable, you know, you're overweight, you're chubby, you this. Other women would, I've always kind of was in relationships. So other women would kind of talk to my boyfriend and be like, oh, you like big girls, you like chubby girls. You know, people would do things like that. Just catty. So yeah, I will say my real life actually prepared me for social media. It's never easy always being judged, because I'm a very accepting person. Like, I accept people for who they are. I don't choose my friends because they are attractive or least attractive. So like, to be that person that somebody is always kind of judging my looks versus, you know, just off my value. You know, I'll say it helped me be not only a stronger person, but it made me want to be a better person. Okay. I don't like talking about people. I don't like tearing somebody down, even if, you know, they may be unattractive. It's not up to me to let them know, you know?
Right. I mean, beauty's an eye of the beholder, and that's sort of how I've always been too, because I've always been, I guess, on the curvier side anyways, because I started developing at a young age. And my siblings, they are very petite. My middle sister, she's tall and slender, and then my oldest sister, she's, you know, short, but she's petite. So I'm like, I've always been sort of like the outcast, because I was like, I don't fit in. And then because, you know, earlier times, I guess most people weren't trying to be curvy, or they weren't trying to be plus size or BBW. You know, back then, to me, I felt like I stood out because I was like, everybody else was this way and I look like this. And then I had to, you know, cover up, and, you know, I couldn't wear what everybody else was wearing and stuff like that. So I can understand it. And it wasn't until I got older where I was like, you know what? I don't care. Like, this is me. I done been this way, you know. So I was able to deal with it then. But as a child, oh, girl, I was crying to my mama, like, asking her why I can't wear this. They're wearing that, and you know, short skirts. I couldn't. I was upset about it. But then it's like, after a while, I'm like, oh, okay, you know. I guess I am okay. I'm straight. Well, yeah. So
that's nice.
I just went ahead and started, I guess, accepting mine too. But so from your childhood, I know you said that you were larger, and then when did you start, I guess, losing weight, or your transition into becoming what the world knows as Miss Miami? Like, how did we get to that point?
Okay, so I admit the world found Miss Miami. I'm not too young, you know. We make this look really good. But when the world found me, I was already in my 30s, and I had already lived life. I had experienced not only my childhood, but I had went to college. College was the first time I actually tried to intentionally lose weight. I want to say it was probably my sophomore year, and before I was a dancer. My sophomore year, over the summer, it's like I went on a glow up. I changed my eating habits. I worked out, and I'm like, no, when school started again, I was tired of hearing, I'm pretty for a big girl. That shit drove me crazy. You hear me? To where, like, I didn't know, like, what does that mean? Like, I'm big, so am I supposed to be less attractive? Or like, so after after being disgusted with hearing I'm pretty for a big girl, or let's just say I've always had a lot of male friends, so I would have male friends that or males or people I know would be interested in me, and they'll be like, yeah, you know, I like Courtney, I mean, but I don't know if she got a boyfriend, you know, if she lost weight she would be so this. And you know, it's like, you know what, no, let me go on my glow up. I went on my glow up, and when school started again, that first semester, yes, I had dropped about 30-40 pounds, but I will say, considering society standards, I still was overweight. I was in my, maybe lower 200s, 210, you know what I'm saying? But this was also before I got my butt injections, so I did not have a real crazy big booty. I just was a thick girl. I never really had a really big stomach. I always had these thighs though.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
The thighs and mine have been the hips. Like,
yes.
It's a blessing and a curse. But yeah, so
yes. And even the round face. So it's like when I'm chubby, my face get round, my thighs are there and whatever. So college was the first time I tried to lose weight. Then, like I say, I'm grown. I went back into corporate America. I worked jobs. And then by the time Instagram found me, they didn't know, but I had a job. I was working a freaking 9-to-5. I hated. I went viral. Then while they posted me on the thing, I was scared to go back to work because I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm working with all these. And, you know, I got this big ghetto booty. I'm going viral. Like, I was scared to go back to my 9-to-5 because of just what society may say, or even in that video, like the people I worked with did not know about my past. They didn't know I was a dancer. They didn't know nothing. But just seeing the video, and then if they would have saw me in that kind of light, you know what I'm saying? I just was worried about that. But what I will say is, luckily, social media allowed me to leave that job at a certain point, and I was able to do some things that I wanted to do. And, you know, start to live a life at a certain point that I wanted to live. Just more of myself. Didn't really care what other people say. And especially even like coworkers. Because that's a sad type of life to have to worry about going to work and then worry about what you're posting on social media. Because the reality was my job was not paying me enough to not try to make a living on social media platform.
Oh, yeah. And I understand completely because I, you know, still to this day do my corporate America, you know, jobs as well. And, you know, like I said, I travel, I meet a lot of people, and when I meet them, the first thing they want to do is, oh, what's your Facebook? Let's keep in touch and all that. And I go, here's my LinkedIn, because I'm like, you know, that's my professional page. Like, yes. I have my resume and stuff on it. But then when I do have people that see my social sites and they like, oh, wow. Like,
yes.
That's underneath that dress. Like, you know,
yes.
It's like, yeah, but why should it be a problem because someone is expressing themselves or someone's confident in their bodies or, you know, things like that? Because some people are insecure and they like to put their insecurities off on you by saying, you know, oh my God, you know, why she dressed like that? You got too much to be showing.
Yes.
This and that. Oh, thunder thighs. Oh, cellulite. This, you know, it's like, so because you're not happy with your cellulite or your, you know.
Now you want to come bring that over here.
Exactly. You want to put it on me. So that's why I was like, after a while, I was like, I don't care. Like, if you see it, you see it. If you don't, I mean. Hey.
This may sound crazy. I can't even believe I'm saying this, but I hope I'm going to say this just so other women who listening can really get this. My mom was the first person that ever made me self-conscious. Like, it wasn't other people. It was my mom at first. Like, so even growing up, being younger, of course, not only did she she wanted me to be dressed more conservative, but in her ways of trying to convince me, especially once I became a teenager, she would try to point out certain things like, oh, why would you wear that? That's too tight. Look at your thighs. It got your thing showing. Why are you wearing that? Look at your stomach. So my mom was actually the first person for me that, like, you know what I'm saying, tried to make me a little self-conscious in my body. But I don't want to say that she tried to do that. I don't think that was her purpose. Her purpose was to probably get me to change, but that makes a person self-conscious. So for the women that have kids, especially like daughters, just watch how you know, try to critique them. because everybody different, you know, everybody come into, I actually was a late bloomer as well. You know what I'm trying to say? So by the time I started caring about how I dress, wanting to look nice, I personally felt like this is the appropriate age, but I was a late bloomer. Like what, and I played sports. I was a tomboy. So so it's like I'm not caring. By the time I did come into my femininity or wanting to be a little more feminine or dress girly, like I feel like I should have been more accepted. You know what I'm trying to say? Or and like my mom not slim, so you know she should know. So I'll say that too. Like women critique each other in a way where I don't think that we consider what somebody else already going through in they head. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. I mean, a lot of self-esteem issues, they start at home. And for me, I come from a religious background as well, and mine was always church lady, because I would have on a dress something similar to what I have on now, and they would be pinching at my dress.
Yes.
You know, ooh, you know, you gotta watch her and all this stuff, and you know, I'm young, so I'm over here looking like, what they talking about watching me for? But I developed early, so it's like, you know, they like, you better, you know, why she wearing that little dress and like pulling at it,
yes,
and I'm sitting here like,
yes,
I know they mean well, but then for a child that's like 8, 9, and
yes,
tugging on me and telling me little stuff like it hurt my feelings. I'm looking
yes,
like, you know, what I do? What's wrong with me? And so every time it was always like the women. It wasn't like me, because of course, you know, they looking at me, but I'm not paying attention to them. Like, I'm oblivious to the fact that they looking at me because I'm a kid. Like, I just want to, you know, play and, you know, laugh, run around like everybody else. But then they like, oh, you know, watch her. Don't let her wear that, this, and that. And then even when it came to, like, going to school, it wasn't until I was actually on the cheerleading team, probably in intermediate school, where I actually, I guess, felt like that was the Garden of Eden. And I, like, bit the apple, and I could actually see, like, hey, you know, this is real, because they actually designed a new uniform because of me. Because all the other people, when we had to go like try on our uniforms, all this stuff, we already got, you know, made the team. Everybody going and getting their uniforms and all this stuff. So they were telling me that the largest size that they had, I think, was like extra large or something. But then because of the way the skirt was made, it was like tight on me, like super tight, like, and then my cheeks were like out almost, and they like, oh no, you know, she can't wear that, and it's junior high, so they like, oh no. So then they like, okay, we got to do something else. So then they made me a skirt, like customized me a skirt, but it looked different than everybody else's. So they like, oh, we can't go to competition like this. They redid everybody's uniforms, and I was sitting there like, like that, like, like, so I'm like, okay, so now I know something wrong, like. So then that's when I was starting to be more, you know, self-conscious of myself, and, you know, I'm like, oh, okay, like, I understand I got boobs, like, I understand I got a butt, so then I'm trying to, like, you know, cover up. But, yeah, college, I didn't care. Like, at that point, I was like, I'm ready to go to class and get up out of here. And people said the same thing, like, you know, oh, you know, she thick. Shoot, I'm trying to go to class and get up out of here. Like, nobody did. When I actually got out on my own, working, doing stuff, meeting people, traveling, all that, I'm like, I look kind of good. Like,
yes,
like,
yes.
Oh, okay, like,
yes.
Because I had my little weight loss moment too, where I was doing my Zumba constantly. I was watching what I was eating. I was doing intermittent fasting. I'm, you know, watching my water intake, my carbs, all this stuff. And then I had lost weight, got down to like 175, which was the thinnest I've ever been in my life.
Wow.
And everybody like, you sick? And that's what I'm like, okay, so when you're big,
yes.
And when you're small, you're sick. So
yes.
Like, I can't see it. So at this point, I'm like, you gonna get what you got.
I agree.
Like,
and even when I lost weight in college, that was crazy. When I got back to school, I was so happy about my weight loss. Like I said, I wasn't even skinny, but coming from where I came from, I was small. I was so happy with my weight loss. And I had some people that was close to me that was like, damn, like you looked better being a big girl. Or like, you know, say some other women like, oh, you really was representing for us big girls. But when I was a big girl, where were y'all asses? You know what I'm saying? Like, what was this motivation and inspiration? Like, where's the support? So you're right. It's you were damned if you do and damned if you don't. And that one thing I will say, I do feel like this was a thing in my life. My mom used to say things like, oh, I'm hard-headed, I'm stubborn, I don't listen to people. Maybe I think those are those were qualities I had because I knew what I was going to go through in life. It's not that I don't listen to people. I don't listen to the negativity. I don't let people project. You know what I'm trying to say? Because I've been there before. And what's crazy about projecting when it comes, especially just being so quick to critique somebody else's body, people don't know where no one is mentally. So like say in my life, when people was critiquing my body, like I was unhappy with my life. Like my body was the last thing that I wanted to think about. You know what I'm trying to say? So people be talking about body, but it's like, I'm just trying to be happy. I'm just trying to be progressive. I'm trying to be productive. I'm trying to figure out who I am. And a person want to just be like, yo, body. It's like, especially even with social media, young people, even when you look at adults, because a lot of adults are insecure. And we try to talk for other people. Because somebody insecure, they like to talk for somebody else like they have the same, like they have the same feelings. But I think that we have to, I like conversations like this because one, it's going to trigger people and it's going to open up a certain level of acceptance. You know what I'm saying? Just like, people accept the extreme cosmetic surgery, we are accepting people who are changing their sex. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? We're accepting people who said they were born one way, but they feel like that's not who they are. So they went and changed every other thing. We're accepting people who are, say, overweight and they may go get surgery to lose weight. Like we have to stop being so opinionated, one, when it comes to other people's business. And then like, what about allowing people to do what they think is best for themselves? Right. So that's why like I like conversations like this, because the shoe don't fit everybody. Like a lot of people going into getting cosmetic surgery, look, I support it, whatever people want to do. They're going into getting cosmetic surgery. I went into reversing my surgery. Like I've been in the thick of it. Okay. To where it's like, people are at different levels of their life. I would never judge nobody going to go get surgery just because I went to reverse mine. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, and that's how you gotta be anyways, sort of open-minded with it. And before we get into your reversing or like the removal process, when did you initially have like your first surgery?
I had my first surgery, I want to say I got out of the hospital September 29th, 2020. So I probably started sometime like August 2020.
August 2020?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then that was for the...
Yeah, so it's removal. When I did it, I got a removal and then I had to go get a reconstruction. Long story, y'all wait for the documentary. Right. So yeah, I did removal reconstruction. Now there are options that when you get the removal, you can get the reconstruction right then. Okay. But you gotta go out of the country. But yeah.
When you first got the actual injections,
so when I got the actual injections, wow, I want to say it was around 2006, 2007. Okay. Yeah, because like I said, I was
2006, 2007 to 2020.
Yeah, so from 2007 to about 2010, I was getting injections. I had got injections. After 2010, I'm living my life, going about my day. Then boom, social media finds me. But what's crazy is what people don't know. By the time I got popular on social media, and even Wale posted me, I knew I wanted to remove my injections. Oh, really? Mm-hmm. I knew women. I was a dancer for a while. I had the injections for a while, so I knew women that were having issues with their injections. I started seeing changes in my body. But talking about acceptance, although I was not perfect, I was in so many positions where people was taking pictures of me randomly, asking me was I a model. So I'm like, you know what? Let me take my hand at this. You know what I'm saying? And my mindset was, I don't have to be perfect to make it. And I think like when people came at me, when people used to come at me with the real comments like, oh, you're this, you're that, look at your teeth, look at your this, look at your that. I know people going to talk shit. Look, I'm a funny person. Although I don't pick on people, trust me, if we want to be comedy central now, we could take it there. But I wanted people to feel a bit of a liberation. to know that you don't gotta be perfect, like to know that you can have flaws, to know that your cosmetic surgery don't have to be perfect to have opportunity. Your teeth ain't gotta be straight to have opportunity. You know, but people did not, they missed that. They chose to, you know, try to degrade me or talk about all the things that just, all the reasons I should not have been. But it's like they just did not know who they was messing with. I already lived that throughout my life, to where it's like, no, that's so. When I look at how social media has advanced, I tell people, and I actually had this conversation with a young man the other day. I said the exact same thing you said. I say, no, before in the 2000s, what was considered the standard of beauty was Anglo-Saxon standard of beauty. Thin, blonde hair, blue eyes. You could not even be double digit. And I'm like, you got women who look like your mama and your sister and your auntie who brown skin, got locks, got natural hair, got real big booties, big breasts, big lips. These are the people that's the standard of beauty now, and y'all still got a problem with this. And it's like, even when people be like, oh, black women do too much to go get surgery, you got other women go get surgery, but they need it. No, you can't judge one woman different. Those other women who get in surgery, they're going to go get surgery to look like the black woman. People never put no respect on our shit. We don't get surgery to look like them. Right. Do you agree? We don't go look like them. And even when if a person want to consider, say, weave, that's not even to look like them. That's just not to be messing up our natural hair.
Right.
That's just, this is what women do.
And that's the beauty of, to me, being a black woman.
Yes.
That's the versatility. And it's like, yeah, we can straighten our hair. Our hair can also curl. We can also lock our hair. We can braid our hair.
Yes.
We can clip our hair.
Yes.
You know, if we want to wear a weave, we can. We want to shave our hair bald.
We can.
You know, that's the versatility of it. Like, you can do so much, and then that's another form of expressing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, somebody can say, you know, oh, but you wear a weave, or oh, you do this. It's a form of expression. Like, I can take this out and still be the same person. Like, you're not about to, you know, tell me I'm different because I put this on my head, or because I got some lashes on, or because I got my nails done. Like, no, you're not tell me that I'm a, you know, different person.
Yes.
And that's the thing that gets me with just society in general, because it's like they do set standards. And it's like, if you don't have your body done, say if you don't have a butt, oh, she got a flat butt, you shape like a boy, you know what I mean? Like, but then if you do have a butt, like, even for me, because yes, I am natural, but people always ask me, you got a BBL? You got some work done? And it's like, no, but like, you know, why does it matter? Like, you know, what kind of question is that? Like, what if I was offended because you asked me that, which I'm not, but what if I was offended and you asked me that? Like, that's just like going to somebody that's, I guess, heavier set and saying, are you expecting? You pregnant? Right. Like, that's how I feel when somebody comes to me. They're like, oh, you got a BBL? Right. Why can't I just naturally have a big butt? Right. Like, you know what I mean?
No, absolutely.
And so, going back to, I know you said you were initially a dancer. So, was that when you first got your injections, when you were dancing?
Yes. When I got injections, I was a dancer. I didn't know anything about that you could change anything. Back in the day, all you heard about was women going to get their breasts done, you know. Right. And I didn't want breasts. I ain't care about no breasts. These titties could be long and strong for all I can. No, but I didn't care about that. But when I, even being catty, so how I found out about butt injections was, you know, and I strictly was a dancer for the money. Like, by the time I started dancing, I was a junior. I was working regular jobs. I was about to flunk out of school. Like, I was going to work before class, and I used to hang in the club, and I used to, like, you know, I knew dudes that went to the club, and I'm like, no, that's what made me lose weight during the summer. I'm like, I'm tired. I'm about to flunk out this summer. I'm finna lose some weight, and I'm finna be in the club. Okay, right. That was the plan. So I never was even a dancer. No, I didn't even dance at parties. So, like, I was very nervous dancing. I probably had two left feet. And then my first day in the club, after I get off the pole, I talk about this in my book. After I get off the pole, go to the dressing room, because it's like, I just got off the pole. Let me just, And the girl's like, oh, you pretty, but you need some more ass.
So a dancer is who told me about the butt injection.
Oh no.
Yes, a dancer is who told me about this. I'm like, well, how do you get more ass? Like,
Oh, you asked?
yeah, I'm like, what is that? Like, I'm pretty, but I need more ass? Like, how does a person get more of something they don't have? But she's like, you know, they got all kinds of stuff. She didn't have no ass shots.
That's what I was supposed to say.
And she was slim. I'm gonna be honest with you. She wasn't even that attractive. Like,
did she have a butt? No.
no, she just was very nice on the pole. She was good on the pole.
Okay.
But she didn't really have a body shape. She was natural. She had kids. Her breast was her breast looked like she had kids, and she just was slim. She didn't have a butt. But so as I listened to the thing, you know, I heard her out, and then I asked at the time. There was only one girl I talked with in the club. I told her what happened. So she was like, "Yeah, girl, this girl be getting this ass shot stuff." But so that's when I initially heard about it. And I first started dancing in Tampa. Shout out to motherfucking Tampa. Hollywood Nights was the club that I first danced at. Oh yeah, that's when I heard about it. And that's how I heard about it from another woman critiquing my body. I want to say I did wait a couple months to get them, but yeah.
Like, that is crazy that it came from a woman.
A freaking woman. All the men I knew did not want me to do it. I will say that. A lot of men, because people like to say, y'all women, y'all change our body for a man. Even my boyfriend at the time did not want me to get butt shots.
Right.
The men in the club, because you know you get it in sessions. So when your butt start looking a little bigger, dudes start looking like, what you doing? Don't get them butt shots. They used to say little stuff like that. Don't get them butt shots. No. So when people have this thing that women are doing something for a man, I want to look at, is this the camera? This the camera? This the camera? I'm looking at all the cameras. Because y'all need to know this, ladies and men, because this is one thing I'm really tired of hearing. Women don't do everything for a man. Now, some things we do for a man. When it comes to our bodies, like this is a body that we have to live with. A lot of women make these decisions for themselves. And I was a patient coordinator for a very popular cosmetic surgery, like a center, and having consultations with women who never had surgery, and this is not butt injections, this is women who want BBL or whatever, listening to the reason they want it. It was never about a man. I will say this. It was always about how they feel about themselves, how they want to see themselves, how they feel after they had kids. You know what I'm saying? A lot of women have gave up their life, you know, to have a family, to have kids. They were athletic before, or they saw themselves a certain way, and it's like after having a family, they look in the mirror and they don't either like what they see or they just don't feel like themselves.